afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day to all. Welcome to another edition of Homie Picks. It is week 18. No more 17 is the finale for football. NFL football finales is week 18 now. We have made it 18 weeks. We have given y'all. Fellas, how do you feel on this fantastic finale weekend?
It feels like players gonna get those bonuses, the extra week to get those bonuses. So shout out to all the players trying to need those catches, those sacks, those receptions. If NFL is gonna give you a free week to do it, this is the week.
Look,
for real. For me, a little bittersweet. The season is about to end, but playoff time comes. So the problem is that once that starts rolling around, football season's over, and then we gotta wait.
yeah.
That's the downside.
But nonetheless, we have made it. I forget as soon as I hit record, as soon as I forget the Bears linebacker, it was a Roquan. I forget the Bears linebacker who broke the
Urlacher?
It was a sack record from way back in the 70s. But he did it in week 17. So I forgot the current player, and I forget the player that he beat, in terms of his sack record. It was like 19 and a half or something and a half sacks. But he did it in 17 weeks. So nobody can say, oh, you did it in 18 weeks. I don't want to hear shit anymore. Like, because people are going to be complaining. As you know, as time goes on, people are going to be complaining, oh, he broke my record, but he had 18 weeks to do it. No, I don't want to hear it.
Robert Quinn just set. I just looked it up. Robert Quinn sets the record.
Thank you.
Against the Giants, he did it week 17. He set the record.
And you know what? Same thing falls for JT. Like, he broke a couple of records, but he did it within the 17. So, I think they would have given him grief if he got it. This week.
People can't say, "Oh, he had an extra week." No. He did it in 17 weeks, not the 18 week. He can add on to the total now, but
right.
He has Richard Dent.
Thank you. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the clarification. I was drawing a mean fog, but that's because I'm excited, y'all. Me and Ben, we live in a not so free state. Lou, you live in a more free state than we do.
I'm excited.
You're so excited. You froze, bro.
I froze
with a smile on your face.
I froze for a little bit. I was too excited. The internet was just too unstable to handle this. It was too unstable to handle the excitement. Fellas, me and Ben can finally join you, Lou, in betting. Sports betting is live today as of the time that this has been released. Sports betting is live in New York. We have finally reached that plateau. 9 a.m. Saturday.
Save some gas money.
Everybody's going to be losing their money. People are going to be going to Gamblers Anonymous. Why? Because sports betting is here. Finally, I'm not going to try to steal. I'm not going to try to steal The Rock's catchphrase. He will sue. But finally, sports betting has come to New York. From Brooklyn to Buffalo and all points in between, we can now bet with the best of y'all.
Yes. Online betting is here.
It's an exciting moment. There are 9 operators throughout. Anybody who is watching this in New York, now is a great time to get into the action. Just about everybody's giving a promo, like $100 bet credit. So you ain't even got to use your own money at first.
Yeah.
You just
FanDuel is doing what, 100?
Exactly.
DraftKings is 200.
See, everybody's doing a free promo, so you can just get a little taste of, using somebody else's money.
Bro,
house money.
That's the good dealer model, give you that taste.
Exactly. Hey, look, we're all pushers, man. We're pushing entertainment, and they pushing and they pushing entertainment to us too. So we all pushers here.
I love it.
Ugh. But so like I say, it's the finale before the playoffs. NFL playoffs will be starting very soon. As we have mentioned before, playoffs for at least the first week is Saturday, Sunday, and this year has started to be on a Monday as well. There has never been a Monday night, a Monday playoff game until this year. Fittingly, we never had week 18 until this year. So NFL's going crazy with the bonanza. So give a tribute or a solid tribute to all those we have lost. By all those we have lost, we're talking about all the teams that have not qualified for playoffs as of this week. Everybody who was eliminated. In the AFC, we have the Dolphins, the Browns, the Broncos, the Jets, the Texans, the Jaguars. In the NFC, we have the Vikings, the Falcons, the football team, whose name will be revealed in February. We don't care. The Bears, the Seahawks, the Panthers, the Giants, and the Detroit Lions. All those teams have failed to qualify for anything except for draft seeding. So, but for those who do remain, it is the final week. It is still up in the air for a lot of teams. The number one seed is up in the air, for everybody. So this week matters for a lot of teams, especially the teams that are even solidly, and have a solid end. We're gonna go to our first one, Saturday game. Rivals, bitter rivals, and of course this is going to be fun because rival games, especially when it has playoff implications. Oh man, this is going to be beautiful. We got Dallas, we got Philly. Currently, right now, Dallas is a 3.5-point favorite. Philly is a plus 166. Leading off with Lou, since that is your division. I know you wish they both have a tie and they all burn, but that is not how this goes. How do you see it otherwise?
I don't one. Shout out to Jalen Hurts because he handled that situation last week with the fans and the railings falling over, like the best pro I've ever seen in my life. I wish he had that much confidence and poise on the field as he did in the stands. But for this game, it's an important game. I think it's a setting the tone. Playoff seeding implications are pretty much on the line, like you said. For me though, I'm gonna say Philly gets this win. I'm gonna say Philly sneaks in and gets this win, just on the sheer fact that it would be too sweet not to stick it to Dallas at the last game of the year, and have them rumbling and stumbling into the playoffs. So I'm gonna go with Philly just because I hate Dallas more than I hate Philly.
I can't look. There are people who pick in sports betting, and actually I gotta at the end of this remind me I got to go over betting lines and so forth and how betting goes, because I have been asked that question before about what is it when it comes to sports betting, like what are you looking at and so forth. But honestly, there are people who sports bet just because the favorite color is green, and because the favorite color is green, they're going to go for Philly. So that's honestly that's a perfectly valid reason to go for your pick. I can't knock that. Ben, what say you, sir?
I was leaning towards Philly on this one myself, but Philly already clinched because Green Bay won their game. So I'm feeling like Philly might rest their starters. And additionally, they have some guys out on COVID. I think they have like 10, 15 guys out on COVID. So I don't like their chances. I think just too much of the Cowboys, they're still trying to work on their seeding. So I think they have a little bit something to play for. So I like Dallas in this one.
So currently, as it stands, Arizona and Dallas are tied 11-5. Arizona, however, did beat Dallas. So they do have that tiebreaker. But Philadelphia as the 7 seed, if they want to play spoilers to Dallas just to make their season just go haywire, just in the happenstance that somehow, some way, Dallas holds on to the 4 seed. If Philly wants to cost them that home game, this is the time to do it. And I think they're going to cost them that home game. No matter what Arizona does, I think Philly is playing to cause Dallas misery and suffering, especially misery and suffering to Jerry Jones, who would love nothing more to, well, they can't cost them the home game because, Dallas does have that, they do have the division thing. But if Dallas has any chance of going past Arizona or whoever does happen to be the 5 seed, that's going to be their last. That's going to be the last thing anyway. And I'm pretty sure Philly just doesn't care. Philly does not like Dallas. Dallas doesn't like Philly. It's I think it's the perfect game for Dallas to mess up on too. Honestly, I don't. Dallas has not shown me much over the past month that makes me say, oh, like they're going into the playoffs hot and ready. The way they played against Arizona, except for the fourth quarter, showed me everything that I needed to really see when it comes to Dallas. They're inconsistent, which is wild because early in the season, we talked about Pollard, we talked about Zeke, and their running game has not really matched up with anything else recently. The game is at Philly. Those Philly fans are going to go crazy, rabid. I see Philly winning this game. Maybe by a field goal, maybe by a touchdown. But I hope Jalen Hurts does keep the same kind of pressure and cool that he did with falling fans from 6 feet that he does against Trayvon Diggs and company. And I think he can do it. Going on to our second game, which most of the games are going to be on Sunday. We got 2 games on Saturday. Everything else is on Sunday. No more Monday games until the playoffs. My team is hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 8-7-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. I will definitely want to say that although Baltimore is a 3.5-point favorite, Steelers are a plus 160. Before Ben goes, I want to take this time out to respect Mike Tomlin, who has never had a losing season.
15 years.
In 15 years, never had a losing season, which is incredible. So shout out to Mike Tomlin. I may not like your team. I don't have a problem with you. I hate the Steelers with every bone in my body, every vessel. I hate Pittsburgh, but I respect the living shit out of Mike Tomlin. That is an incredible feat. And he can't, and no matter what happens on Sunday, it's still not losing season. So Ben, take it away. Who do you see winning this one? Does Pittsburgh hold on to their playoff hopes by taking down the Ravens?
I don't think so. I actually see the Ravens winning this one. I think last game was the big hurrah for Ben. I just don't see them pulling it up again. That was a big emotional game for them. They're gonna come down to earth basically. Just finish off, the season and just let it go. It's done. Both teams are not going to make it to the playoffs, unfortunately. But I see the Ravens winning this one.
Yeah. Lou, what do you do?
So I think Baltimore wins this game just on the sheer fact of keeping it interesting. I mean, Baltimore to make the playoffs, they need
Chargers
to lose, Colts to lose, and I think that's it.
That's it.
And Miami to lose.
Oh, Miami.
Well, no, it don't matter. Miami's gone.
No, but
they still need to lose. So.
Yeah, Miami needs to lose. So I think on the sheer fact, both those teams are going to be playing because they both need Indy and yeah, that's crazy. They both need to lose. So I'm going to sheer fact that Baltimore just needs to make that final hurrah. I think is Lamar Jackson back?
No, Huntley's
no.
playing.
Huntley.
I think Huntley's playing for performance for a job next year. I think Huntley definitely deserves to start somewhere next year. So he's going to give it his all. I see Baltimore squeezing this one out on the sheer arm of Huntley winning.
Yeah. You know, as it currently stands, we are the 11th seed. That's crazy. Considering we're tied right now with Miami, we're all 8-8. Pittsburgh is 8-7. They're the current 9th seed. The bottom three, Colts at 9-7, Chargers at 9-7, Raiders at 9-7. Baltimore has wins against the Colts and the Chargers. Who do we not have a win against? The Raiders. That hurt. And that Miami loss also hurt too. As well, that 2-point conversion that failed also hurt. There's been a lot of things that have hurt this team since preseason. It has not been one of our best seasons. I mean, considering everybody that we have lost as time has gone on, and for us to still even have a chance at the playoffs is ridiculously wild to me. I think even if we get into the playoffs, we're not making it past the first round. I don't matter who we're going against. I think the second seed currently right now is Kansas City. If things hold on by Monday, if Tennessee's number 1 and KC's number 2, that means we got to go against KC and KC. We're going to get destroyed. That team that we had week 2, week 1, week 2, yeah, week 2. That's not the same team we got in week 18. we have the replacements. This is the Keanu Reeves replacements team, and sadly, it's in the damn movie. Big Ben going. This is a finale. This is a beautiful finale. Big Ben got his final win at Heinz Field. His going out, celebration, and now he has his final game in the regular season against his biggest rival at their home. I mean, you really can't write the script better than that. So much so that Big Ben is actually going to lose on his final game with at least 3 picks. He's going to go out like how I think Big Ben is going to go out. Swinging, throwing maybe 55 passes. He has a great run game. But I think he's going to throw 55 passes because he's like, fuck it, what I got to lose. And he's going to get picked like 3 or 4 times. One of our bum ass secondary people are going to pick it up, except for Chuck Clark. Chuck Clark is good, but outside of that, there ain't nobody I really trust out in the backfield like that. I've never trusted Jimmy Smith a day in my life. No matter how many they touted him coming out of Colorado, I did not trust that man, and he has not shown me anything in the 7 years he's been in the league that says, "Oh yeah, he's getting better." No. I do feel that we're still going to win the game, and we're going to be holding off for hope for a KC for a KC beatdown in round 1 of the playoffs. But I think we have a very insurmountable deficit to go for. Going into our third game, Saints at Atlanta. Now you're like, why are we going for Atlanta? Like it's the Falcons. Why? Because the Saints matter. The Saints actually matter. It's crazy. Like they're in contention for either the 6th, 7th, or 8th seed against San Fran and Philadelphia. Like, who would have thought after Jameis Winston went down, the Saints would still even be here? Like, but then that's also because the rest of the teams that's behind them suck too. So, so they kind of here by default. But nonetheless, give shout out to their defense. The Saints defense has been holding it down, especially because their quarterback play has not. Right now, the Saints are a 3.5-point favorite. Falcons, however, are plus 156. So something in Vegas thinks Matty Ice is going to have an ice cold performance against that defense, which has been playing pretty damn good. despite the offensive struggles. And I'm kind of agreeing to that. Somehow, somebody think the Falcons get the win on the final game. It doesn't hurt the Saints none less because nobody's behind them can actually make it. But I think the Falcons pull it off. I think Sean Payton really is worried about just getting his players healthy just to lose to whoever the hell they play first, whether it be Rams or Tampa, whoever. I think they want that. I think they just want to get into the playoffs with somewhat of a healthy chance, minus, of course, their quarterback. It has been a wild season for the Saints. Michael Thomas has disappeared due to health and stuff and so forth. But I'll give credit to Sean Payton. Everybody thought after Drew Brees was going to be gone, they would be nowhere. Hell, even the last few seasons with Drew Brees, nobody thought they would be anywhere because Drew Brees was a shell of himself. And his team somehow, some way fought, kept getting wins, and got into the playoffs. So shout out to Sean Payton on that one. Lou, what you think is going to happen in this game?
So for me, I am actually gonna go with New Orleans on this.
Okay.
I think they pull it out. I think they get into the playoffs. They just need to. I think it's just a win and they're in for them. Oh no, win and some other stuff has to happen. But I am taking New Orleans to win this one. The Hawks, the Falcons, Hawks, Atlanta. They're not the team. Matty Ice is melting. I think New Orleans, especially you playing at the Superdome, like you can't not lose there. So I got New Orleans winning this.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with you, Jay. I'm liking the Falcons here. I actually think the Falcons win this game. I don't know. For some reason, the Falcons play the Saints really well. And I've seen this happen before. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bad ref call, a bad pass interference or something that goes against New Orleans and they lose again and they have something to complain about. So I can see that happening. Yeah, I think the Falcons pull this one off.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I think, especially for the Falcons, what do they have to lose? They ain't playing next week. The week after. The next time they play is August. That's the next time they play. They got nothing to lose. Matt Ryan is as good as probably. Well, I don't think they're gonna draft the quarterback. They need to. I think Matt Ryan is on his last legs as well. But hell, at the same time, who knows what's going to happen in Atlanta? But who also knows what's going to happen in San Francisco for our next game? We got San Fran taking on LA in LA. The Rams are a 4-point favorite. San Fran is a plus 172. Before anybody realized it, I mean, I picked San Fran to be the NFC West champions. That let me down, but at the same time, they have been playing some pretty damn good ball. But Ben, how do you think it's going to fold? Does San Fran sweep them this year, or? Ooh.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I don't see them winning this one. I think the Rams pull away. I think Jimmy G's still not practicing, so he's probably not going to play. You asking Trey Lance to, big game, big situation. The Rams have a good defense, so you're putting a rookie quarterback out there. I think there's too much stacked against them. I think it'll be close. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the Rams are going to blow them out, but I think they'll just have just enough at the end. Stafford, for all his up and downs, at least he does play well when it matters. Fourth quarter, he does what needs to get done. So they've been winning. So I'll take LA in this one.
Reason why I pick New Orleans is because of this game. I think the Rams need this game to clinch the division. And I would love to stick it to San Fran. I'm sorry. I love sticking to San Fran whenever I can. And I think this is the perfect time to do it. Shout out to the CEO. Twain. You know who he is. He rocks that Niners jersey proud. But this will be the last time he wears it this year. So, yeah, he Rams win this one, clinch the division, on to play New Orleans or wherever else they play. They are lined up in the playoffs.
I mean, look, I what can I say? So here's what I can say. I definitely validly see Ben's point. You really trusting Trey Lance in a big game to go against a solid ass defense in LA. But also, have you not seen Matt Stafford recently in these past few weeks? Like this, like have we not seen Matt Stafford?
That's
like,
what I said, bro.
He
He played like garbage, but at the end, he got the drive. That's all you need. You need that drive.
Look,
it ain't gotta be pretty.
He got that last minute touchdown against my boys. They won 2019. And their defense came big. Because the Ravens were at the 3-yard line. And next thing, like it was when it was what was the score was I think it was still at that time 16-14 or something like that. And they held up to 3 points because they were at the 3-yard line, was about to get in. And next thing you know, 4 plays later, we're freaking fourth and goal at the 16. So, you know, I will admit, like Von Miller, but then again, my team is making my team made Von Miller look like Von Miller that was on the freaking cover of Madden, right? Like it's just like crazy. So I think the Niners have a better offensive line than that, at least right now, currently playing. Then the Niners, Kittle and Samuel, they give everybody headaches.
Yeah.
No matter who's throwing to them, Trey or Jimmy. And honestly, you don't really got the best quarterbacks when it comes to those two. But they're the reason. If it was a contract year for both of them, they would get them paid because that's how good those two are. I think with everything that the quote unquote genius of Shanahan and so forth, I think really just comes down to the Niners' ability to run for their ability to on pass and runs after catch. Like the yards they get after they catch is big. You just don't stop them right there, and you know they go after that, and they'll take bodies with them. The running game hasn't been that solid. You know, they lost Mostert in the beginning. I think that definitely hurt. Asking Trey Lance to lead the team to sweep LA is tough. A team like that, it's honestly, who do you trust more? I think we had this conversation before. Who do you trust more, Kirk Cousins or Matt Stafford? So I think we're going to this one again, part 2. Who do you trust more, Trey Lance or Matt Stafford? We've seen Matt Stafford so much. We know we really can't trust him that much. I haven't seen Trey Lance that much. So I'm going with Trey Lance.
For San Fran to put that much pressure on a rookie, that you need this win to go into the playoffs. And then what do you say? Okay, Trey Lance balls out. Yeah. You lock down the playoff spot. You're gonna put Jimmy G in the playoff game now?
Absolutely, they are. Why? Because this is what San Fran's gonna do. So
that kid, that messes his psyche.
They're absolutely gonna destroy that kid's psyche, but for one more week. So San Fran, I think, is gonna win this game. I'm gonna stick with my NFC West prediction pick. They're gonna pull this. I mean, they ain't gonna win the damn division, of course. Clearly, they're not gonna do that. But they're gonna win the damn game, all right? I'm gonna ride with them to the end because that's what I was supposed to do for them, and they kept messing me up. And I hate y'all for that. So shout out to you, CEO. I hate your team. We beat y'all in the Super Bowl. Anyway, moving on. So the last game, actually it's the last game period of week 18, last game of the season. It all comes down to the Raiders hosting the Chargers. Two teams that have had a crazy year. Chargers looking red hot at first, and then they have stumbled and bumbled their way into the playoffs. Raiders, we have gone over them way too damn much this year. We need an Uncle Murder recap for their 2021 because that was just by itself was insane. They could do a whole 2020 wrap up like that. That was the Raiders was wild. For good and for bad, and for the sad. I hate to say that, me and Lou told you so, Ben. But we told you so that they was gonna win, but you didn't want to listen to us. But anyway,
it happens.
Now legally I can actually put that bet.
Right.
But, so right now, you got the Chargers that are a 3-point favorite. Vegas Raiders. I almost said Oakland. I almost said even LA Raiders. Like I've gone to 3 different cities that they have played in. The Vegas Raiders are at plus 136. I somehow, some way think Vegas is still riding the wave of, the passing of the illustrious greatest coach, John Madden. But I feel something different happening with that. Before Ben closes out the show, Lou, what you thinking is going to happen?
I think the Chargers win this. Justin Herbert, this is his exclamation. This is him blowing out the candles, solidifying him getting into the playoffs. I think he's probably one of the best stories in the league that we lost a little luster. When you have Joe Burrow balling out, you have Tom Brady balling out, you have Rodgers being Rodgers balling out. I think Herbert, got lost in the shuffle. You got Mahomes bringing back Kansas City to life after 3 horrible weeks. So Herbert got lost in that shuffle and what he's accomplished so far this year as a sophomore. I think Herbert wins this game and sends the Raiders on vacation fishing.
So, yeah, I am thinking. Unfortunately, this is how the Raiders season goes. They had a phenomenal beginning. There was a insanely great Monday night game against Baltimore, opening it up, for the season. But as high as the team was then, is as equally low as that team is now. So much trial, so much tribulation. That Raider team has, I can't even quantify just what the hell that season was. But, as all good things go, so do the Raiders. I think Justin Herbert is on his way to his first 10-win season. I just think that's just what is going to happen. The Chargers, I think they're going to get it together. It's going to be their live practice session before the playoffs start. I don't know if they're going to be playing on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, but I do think whoever they do go against, they will give them hell. They gave the Ravens hell 3 years ago with Rivers. I think that's what the Chargers do. They just bring it. I see no different here. Running game, passing game, the defense can step up. It seems like just like the Watt family, anybody named Bosa seems to play pretty damn good defense. I just think the Chargers is going to be too much in this one. And we've closed out week 18 with the only person who is guaranteed in the playoffs, Ben, in your coach.
And I'm not guaranteed, actually. Not guaranteed yet.
You trust me. You seen the rest of the teams that's behind you?
Bro,
y'all locked.
I'm not.
Are you playing the Jaguars?
We haven't.
You're a lock.
It's funny because Indy hasn't won in Jacksonville in like 4 or 7 years or something like that. I kid you not. Yeah, so it's not a cakewalk for us. I don't know why they have trouble playing Jacksonville in Florida. Something happens when they go to Florida, so
It's that
anything can
water.
happen.
It's that water.
Anything can happen. So
Y'all are 15 and a half point favorite, my God.
hey, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying weird things can happen. I don't know. I think it's the Florida water over
It's
there.
that Florida water, though. But what do you think is going to happen in this one, though? Raiders or Chargers?
Well, I'm gonna go the opposite. Actually, I think the Raiders actually pull off the win here.
Oh,
I think that they have a little bit of momentum going right now. They're getting Waller back. So that's gonna be a big boost. And they're actually running the ball. The last 3 games they started running the ball, and that's exactly what the Chargers are really bad at defending the run. So what I see them envisioning doing is keep away. The only way to beat a good quarterback is don't let them have the ball, and I can definitely see them pulling that off. I mean, and Derek Carr's been playing great this year. I mean, he's one of the passing leaders. He has, a fair amount of touchdowns. He's up there, he's slinging it well. Like I said, they've been playing pretty well. Yeah, they've had up and downs, and when they've lost ugly. That's really the bottom line. But they've been playing well the last couple of games. So I as much as I like Justin Herbert and the Chargers right now, I just don't have any confidence in their defense, particularly the run defense. I just don't see them stopping them. They're not going to be able to stop them. They're not going to be able to get off the field, and they're just not going to get the opportunities they need to score. So and on top of that, the Chargers line, even though it's much improved, they're still a little porous. And Max Crosby coming into town, he's having a great year. So I think there's gonna be pressure. I don't know. I see I see the Raiders winning this one.
2 X's.
Yes, sir.
Max with 2 X's. If it was 3, it'd have been great right there. But yeah, I can see a point too. I can see a case for that. It would be very, it would be very Raider like to win that game, and something good goes their way. After having
that'll be the last game they win, though. I mean, I think they'll be matched up with
it doesn't matter.
KC.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they go against. They get smacked. But, it would be interesting to see that. It's very Raider like. They've had a very long ass season. I mean, I don't think I remember a team that's had this much turmoil in one season.
Right.
Like, this has been wild. Well, let's see. I could think one player who has had more turmoil in one season that he ain't got a job right now.
1 week. Couple days.
And
It's funny. And we're gonna talk about that, after a recap of the playoffs now. But so that's like we alluded to earlier. This is a new experiment for NFL. They're having 3 days of playoff games, no longer just Saturday and Sunday. And it's just for the first round. It's still just like last year. One team has a bye. No longer does 2 teams have that. People are jockeying for that 1 seed. Some actually want the rest. Some don't even care. Some see it as a week to just prepare to lose. It has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Happened in Green Bay a few times. If I'm Green Bay, I don't want that 1 seed. Last time we had that, we ain't do shit. So
it's too late. It's too late. They already got the bye.
I don't know. So, there are some teams that need it, some teams that don't. I mean, a team that really needs a rest would be Tampa Bay. They're an older team. They had an older quarterback, of course. And they have a lot of health issues on that side of the field. I would love to see Tennessee have that 1 seed. Just make KC work for this harder. This is actually one of the few years that this is the first year in forever that KC is not the odds-on all favorite to win it or even go to the Super Bowl. And I think that's because people remembering what they were in the beginning. But if you want to let recency bias pull into it, then KC can look like the odds-on favorite as well. Like they have played pretty good lately over time. So, but it's gonna be interesting. Who do y'all think is gonna be the 1 seed in both conferences? Lou.
Titans.
Titans in the AFC. Who in the NFC?
Green Bay playing Detroit. So
yeah, you're right. So
Detroit Pop.
Yeah.
There we go.
I have to say the same thing. NFC is Green Bay. They have that one locked in already. They're getting that bye. And AFC is, I think the Titans might win it. I think the Titans might get that 1 seed.
yeah,
I don't see them losing. I think they're playing Houston, right? So
Yeah, they're playing
I don't
Houston.
see them losing. I don't see them losing that one.
And Houston wants that loss to solidify that draft order. So
yeah, I think we all see it the same way. It's funny how Ben gives credit to Tennessee's 10-point favorite, but he don't give credit to his own team's 15.5-point favorite line. But I ain't gonna say anything about that.
Yeah, it has that the Jacksonville Colts thing has come and bitten me before, so I don't bank on that one. Particularly every time they go to Florida, it's just I don't know what happens, bro.
Just don't drink the water.
Florida man strikes, that water gets into them, and they just
treat it like Mexico. Game times
come. They got to do something, bro. Because game time comes, they become the Jets or something. It's just like horrible.
Well, I mean, I don't like the term. It's a term that's been used. Black Monday is coming soon. They already had theirs. They already got rid of Urban Meyer. He was in and out like the restaurant. There's gonna be some other coaches that's gonna be on the hot stove or even going.
Matt Nagy.
Nagy, I heard is gone.
I think even they're not just coaches, GMs too. Gettleman, I think Lou wants both of them going. But
give it to everybody.
You want Eli back?
No.
How about this? Would you want Tyler Huntley as your starting quarterback over Danny Dimes?
No. What I want is the Giants to take those 2 draft picks, those top 10 draft picks we have, and actually draft 2 fucking offensive guards. One on the left, maybe one on the right. Try that. Guards. Try that.
You want protection? You want protection?
So you believe in Daniel Jones? Then?
I believe he hasn't gotten a fair shake. I mean, he's had 3 coaches in the last 4 years.
No. What? Joe Judge, same coach, 2 years, right?
Yeah, 3 coaches in the last 4 years.
Nah, but
this guy had Jason.
I think we've seen who he is. I think we've seen who he is. Come on, they doubled up on all the offensive players. It's not like they didn't have any skilled people.
Offensive.
No, I get it. But look at Joe Burrow. They have a similarly bad offensive line, and he's cooking people. I'm sorry. I know it's not the same talent, but still.
Joe Burrow actually has a competent offensive line. He doesn't get sacked.
Have you seen that?
Competent quarterback.
Right.
He gets sacked. Look up how many sacks he got. That boy's up there.
But he almost died on Sunday. What you talking about?
Yeah, he gets sacked. His line is horrible.
Joe Mixon's having the best year of his career behind the offensive line.
Look, his coach almost killed him. Did you not see the last 3 plays? They were trying to drain the clock down against KC. That they kept running with Joe Burrow. The man almost died. He was about to not make. He actually got hurt, and that's why they brought the other guy in to do the freaking nail down. He was getting washed.
Yeah, and I think it was because of 2 penalties that kept that drive going. Otherwise, I'm sorry, but their line is trash. Like they need help. Like it was a good pick. Don't get me wrong. It worked out with Jamar the pick, but they still need to work on that line.
Their line is ranked 20th. You want to know where my Giants offensive line is ranked?
40th. No, 40 teams in the league. 40th.
30 fucking first. All right.
Congratulations.
I will take 20 over 31.
Who's worse? Detroit?
No, I think Cleveland was close to first.
Listen, there's 11 teams ahead of us before we even get to Cincinnati. So yeah.
But look, that line is not good though. 20th? Nah.
That's the middle of the pack.
Well, so actually I wanted to use Ben's Colts as an example. So, in honor of, not just in honor of New York being, and I'm excited always to say that, as New York being part of now the sports betting community. As always, we said it before New York got it. For anybody who is in a sports betting state, bet responsibly. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yeah.
Anybody who
Bet
is
the rent,
not,
y'all.
exactly. Anybody who's not, and even if you are still in one of those states and you're just doing this for entertainment purposes, this is all entertainment purposes anyway. We're not telling you who to bet the house on and the mortgages. This ain't that. It's all for entertainment. We hope you win money off that because we want a little kickback from that. But I will give you my cash app. Lou will give you his. Ben will give. We'll all give you our cash app. Just give us $1, but support us. But but just like I said, in honor of New York being one of the newest states to the community, I want to quickly go off of what spread betting and what betting looks like. We do wins losses because it's easier to
convey,
understand. It's even though point betting is not hard to understand, wins losses is just flat straight. We know what you're gonna do.
Right,
However,
it's just easier to explain for most
exactly
and to understand for most people.
Exactly,
Because it's clear and cut. It's clear cut.
And that's why we do wins losses. It's easier that way. However, if you are going to put money on things and so forth, you need to explain a few things to you just so you can get an understanding of it. I have no problem anybody hitting me up in DM, whatever, or if you have my number, if you want to know more about stuff. I'm sure Lou has people who don't understand, Ben as well. Anybody who does watch this, you don't understand what betting is, we have no problem explaining to you off camera. But for Ben's Colts versus the Jaguars, I'm going to use that line as an example. 15 and a half, negative 15 and a half is what the Colts are. I say minus, you say negative, whatever, same thing. Minus 15 and a half, the Colts are, which inversely, the Jaguars are plus 15 and a half. What that means, and honestly, Ben can explain the other side of it, but minus 15 or negative 15 and a half means the Colts must win by 16 or more to cover that bet. If they can't get a 16-point win against them, that's the loss. If you click in your sports betting thing, if you click Colts 15 and a half and they won by 14, and you see that little red mark on your sports on your sports receipt saying loss, although the Colts won the game, you'll understand why.
Right, because you're betting the points.
Inversely, then if you click Jaguars plus 15 and a half, and let's say the Jaguars lost by 15, what happens?
Then I would win that bet, even though the Jaguars lost, and I picked the Jaguars to win. You will win that bet because you're not picking the Jaguars to win. What you're picking is the number. You're picking the score. You're saying the Colts won't win by more than 15 points. So that's what you guys got to remember.
Exactly. So whatever number it is, 15 minus 15 and a half means that team that is minus needs to win more than that number.
Right, because if they tie is a push, you guys don't get nothing.
Exactly. And a good example of that would be the game that I'm looking at on the on the net. I look at FanDuel Sportsbook. It's probably one of my favorite sports books. There are actually more than 8 others, but FanDuel we actually use the most. Inversely, the Titans-Texans game, it's a 10-point spread. If Titans win by 10, that is a push. You win nothing off that. If the Texans lose by 10, if you hit Houston plus 10, you still win that. The only person who gets hurt is the favorite.
Yep.
You gotta remember, minus is the favorite, plus is the underdog. So on the next side of things, and this is where the wins, losses go for more of the entertainment part of it, because if you're looking at the money line part, which is in sports betting, wins and losses, who you actually betting on, money line means you're betting that team wins. It doesn't matter what the spread is, whatever happens, you're betting that team wins. So in a case like the Colts, who are highly favored in this game, they were minus 1,150. There should be no damn way they lose this game, no matter what Ben says earlier. But, but they are a minus 1,150. The Jaguars are plus 730. So there was some mathematic formatting that I cannot explain on how much is calculated into what, but everything is usually based upon a $100 bet. So in an example like this, if you bet Jacksonville plus 730 and you put $100 down, you will win $730 plus your $100 back. You will basically get your money back plus more. However, if you were to put your money on the Colts money line, which that would be a bad bet. Never, ever bet on a high money line like that. You're wasting your money on that. And here's the reason why. On the bet slip, if you put $100 on the Colts to win flat out on money line, you will only win $8.50 to your bet. So instead of winning, you would think, I'm going to win $1,100. No. You win $100, your money back, plus $8 more. So you only won $108 out of that whole thing. It ain't worth it. For the smaller numbers, like the 200s, the 100s, you can afford to lose a little bit because you're not losing that much. And of course, the smaller the number, you're not seeing that much of a big difference. Like you put a $10 bet, instead at $8, it's going to be like 80 cents or something like that. But you got to remember, everything is based upon a certain fixed number. But essentially, when you're looking at the win-loss thing, the money line bets, minus as same thing as everything else. Minus means you're the favorite. Plus means that is the underdog. You have better chances or better payout if you bet on the underdog and they somehow, some way happen to win. The over/under for point totals, you'll see over, like in the Colts game, over 44, under 44. It's not that the same. The Colts are going to score over 44 points. It's the combined total of the game. So if everybody who's, if it's 20 to 24 Colts or 20 to 24 Jaguars, doesn't really matter who wins, who loses. That combined score is 44. So if you even selected over or under 44, you lost. Why? It's a push. You would need that score to go over 44 or under 44 for your thing to win. So just a quick recap. Point spreads, whoever is that negative number, you need that number, you need them to win by over that number. If it's a plus number, you need them to lose by that number or just win. They can win by 10,000. It don't matter. As long as they are that plus, and there was a plus 10, and they won the game, you won. Money line is a little different. That's the wins, losses. That's straight bets on a team. Like I said, minus whatever, that's the favorite. Plus whatever, that's the underdog. You get the most payout on those. Over under, You need that final score to go either over that set number or under that set number. We don't like pushes. We hate pushes. We don't. You don't
No
want
one
to
wants
push
to draw.
anybody. It's like real life. You don't want me to push you. I don't want you to push me. So treat it like real life. All right. And I hope that nobody got too lost in that. It seems daunting. It seems confusing, but trust me, it's not that hard. If you ever need a question asked, reach out. Shout outs in the comment. We'll click back. We'll get back to you on that. Or if you have any of our numbers, feel free to use it. Just not okay. Don't use Lou's number. Ben, he don't care. He ain't say nothing yet. Don't hit my line after 10 o'clock. I don't want to hear.
Yeah, basically.
But final thoughts, going into this final week of NFL football. Antonio freaking Brown, you are the MVP to me. This is funny because he was a Raider. This is Raider-like. He's having a Raider-like year this year. So much confusion on it's him. It's he said. I can't say he said, she said. It's he said. Arian says he said one thing, Brown is saying another thing. None of us were there to confirm anything that was said or perhaps say. It's loud on the field. Maybe Antonio heard one thing and maybe Bruce heard another thing. I don't know. All we do know is how he responded. Whether you were told to leave or whether you told him, I'm injured, I can't go in, it's irrelevant. What you did after is what matters as well. I do hope and pray Antonio gets the help. I feel like I'm a broken record. I have said this when he was leaving Pittsburgh. I said this in Vegas. Well, Oakland at that time. No, they were Oakland. It was Oakland, they were Vegas. I forget where they were at that time.
It was still
But
Oakland.
I said it then. I'm saying it again. And I hope I never have to say it again. I hope Antonio gets the help that he deserves. Because that is not the way to perform. Like, we can make memes and jokes about it. We can definitely crack jokes about it forever and so forth. But that is not how you handle that kind of situation. I don't care what, I remember hearing Bill Cowher, I think it was Bill Cowher, talk about Bruce Arians is one of the most player-friendly coaches. If you can do this, I don't care, because who's to say Bruce Arians wasn't in the wrong either? I don't know. So I don't get into the politics of, he has a reputation for being a good guy. And, you can be an asshole in some moments too and be wrong. So it is what it is. I don't know who was right. I don't know who was wrong. I do know Antonio was wrong in how he went about it. That's all I know. I don't know who was right and wrong and who said what to who and when, but I do know you don't take off your jersey and your pads, throw it onto the bench like you Thanos after you just won and snapped, and then chuck the deuces and run off the field, waving to the fans like you just won the 10th Super Bowl. You don't do that. Raiders, I do hope y'all get it together. So much shit in that organization. I do hope y'all get it together. My team, I hope they get it together next year. Draft better defensive players. And I'm excited to see what this playoff looks like. That was my final thoughts for this week 18. Lou, what are your final thoughts for this?
I just hope we have a COVID-free playoffs. I don't want to see anyone miss a game or not be in a game due to COVID reasons. So please, guys, just wear your mask, play the game, take your ass off the court, off the field. That's all I want to see is COVID-free football. I want to see Aaron Rodgers win the title again. I think that'd be a big staple for him. I think it will solidify him with Green Bay, whether he chooses to leave or not. He gave him a title. He can LeBron and peace out. Like he did what he's supposed to do. And for my Giants to just figure it out. That's my wish for the rest of this year.
I respect it. Then,
Yeah, I mean, kind of with Lou here. Want to go with free playoff. I definitely want the games to be competitive. You know, I don't want to see too many blowouts or anything like that. I would like to see some competitive games. I don't know. You know, it's been an interesting season for sure. A lot of incidents on and off the field. You know, just it's difficult. Like you said, you know, sometimes you don't know all the facts. You know, you can only make some certain assumptions just based off what you know on previous things.
Right.
You know, and everyone has their own opinion about it. Just, you know, be kind to each other. You know, at the end of the day, that, you know, they're somebody that you don't even know. So whatever is happening in their life doesn't really matter to you. So, you know, don't take it too personal. Don't take too many grudges, and, you know, make it a personal attack if somebody doesn't like your opinion. You know, look, we got to deal with our bad takes here, so we lose. We got to hear about it. It's just part of it, you know. So, you know, I just wish everybody, you know, enjoy the playoffs. Take it easy. It's a game, you know. Don't take it personal. If your team didn't make it, hopefully next year, unless you're Detroit, I'm sorry.
or Jacksonville.
But or the Jets, you know, the constant teams that are always in the bottom. You know who you guys are. I'm sorry, it's tough to be a fan for those teams. But hey, you guys stick it through. You might have a couple of good years. Look at the Browns.
True. Lastly, right quick, Georgia, Alabama. That is the college football championship game. Georgia is the favorite, 2.5-point favorite. Alabama is the plus 115. I think a lot of people would pick Alabama anyway because Alabama destroyed Georgia in the SEC championship game. Do you think Alabama repeats, or do you think Georgia takes it?
Alabama repeat.
Mashup.
Alabama?
Alabama.
Alabama. I'm going Georgia. Go Bulldogs. I know I said that. I gotta be bold, man. I gotta break the trend, man.
Well, just don't bet a lot on that one.
Man, look, it's a tight one. But family, I'm gonna bet the over because I can bet now. And
yes, sir.
let's go, New York. So signing off for the final week of week 18. We're coming back at y'all for playoff round 1. We'll break down the playoffs and the seedings and so forth when that time comes. Happy New Year again to everybody and all that are watching. I had a happy New Year twice, not just January 1st, but January 5th. So as everybody saw in my group text, it was a wild one. I apologize again, but
Wow.
I'm grown, damn it. I'm grown, damn it. But everybody bet safe, bet responsibly, or entertainment wise, just play fun. Just have some fun with this. We'll come at y'all again for another one. Lucky, we love you. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll have a condensed playoff homie picks when coming at you next week. Until then,
Peace.